Another month has rolled around, and you know what that means. In the world of Fallout 76, it's time to hunt down a brand new axolotl for October. And this month, we've got the Spotted Axolotl, and as always, players are scrambling to figure out the best way to catch it. A lot of people make these axolotl hunts out to be the hardest part of the game, but honestly, it's not as tricky as it seems. So in this video, I'm going to show you the easiest and most effective way to catch this month's Spotted Axolotl. Real quick, if you didn't know, before we get into the stats, I wanted to explain why the axolotl is special. Every month, Bethesda will introduce a new axolotl. This month, October, has the Spotted Axolotl. Now, you can go ahead and check the description for a full list from NukaKnights. As always, big shout out to NukaKnights for data mining all of this info. But if you want to get ahead of the game, go ahead, check the description, click on that NukaKnights article, and it'll show you every single axolotl with every single region that they spawn in. Now, each month's axolotl will only spawn in 2 regions of the map. This month's axolotl will spawn in the Toxic Valley region and the Savage Divide region. Both of those are pretty low-level areas, so that's good if you are a low-level trying to get all these challenges done. But you can go to any fishable body of water in these regions, and you'll have a chance to catch them. But every month, we will have a new axolotl and a new region to fish for them in. Also, I'm going to show you where I went ahead and placed my camp in case you have no idea where to go ahead and place your camp in these 2 regions. But first, I want to get into the stats of actually catching one of these bad boys. Moving into the stats and the percent chance to catch one of these bad boys. Again, shout out to NukaKnights for getting all of this information as usual. Check that description for their website. But as you can see on screen, there are really 2 things that affected the weather and the bait. I'll get more into that in a little bit. But with the no weather effect, you have a 0% chance with common bait, a 3% chance to spawn them in with improved bait, and a 13% chance to spawn with superb bait. With a nuke weather effect, so if you're in a nuke zone or if you're in just a nuke weather effect zone, which we'll talk about in a second, you have a 0% chance to catch it with common bait, a 6% chance to catch one with improved bait, and a 21% chance to spawn one in with superb bait. And then finally, we have a rain weather effect zone. You have a 0% chance to spawn one in with common bait, a 5% chance to spawn one in with improved bait, and a 33% chance to spawn one in with superb bait. So as we can see, like I said, there are 2 things mainly that affect your chances to catch an axolotl, and pretty much all fish. Weather being the first, you'll have the greatest chance to catch one in a rain weather with superb bait, and then obviously, the bait is going to be the second thing that affects it. Don't worry though, there is a significantly easier way to manipulate the weather that we're going to get into in 1 second. But obviously you have the best chance to catch an axolotl using superb bait. However, I don't suggest you buy superb bait with your season tickets. Just use the improved bait, and I guarantee you if you're fishing in a rain weather zone, you will get one within probably 20 minutes. They're not that difficult to catch. I catch them all the time just by accident when I'm fishing in the regions. But like I said, there is a significantly easier way to catch one of these guys instead of just going into the region and hoping that you could get a weather zone effect to spawn in. I promise you, there's a significantly easier way to manipulate it all that we're going to talk about right now. So, like I quickly mentioned earlier, there are only a few requirements for catching these axolotls every month. The first and really only actual requirement is the location. Like I mentioned briefly, October's axolotls will spawn in the Toxic Valley region and the Savage Divide region. Personally, I chose the Toxic Valley region just because I was out there anyway. If you fast travel to Hemlock Holes and just run into the giant empty area to the side, you could place your camp at one of those little toxic ponds and fish. But realistically, you could set up your camp in any spot that allows fishing in the Toxic Valley region or the Savage Divide region. Again, I chose the Toxic Valley just because it was a little bit quicker for me. But if you're having trouble placing your camp out here, just do it exactly where I'm doing it in this little spot over by the pond. I should have maybe like a picture zoomed into the map or something like that to show you exactly where I am. Just go out there, mess around until you're able to place the camp down. It can be a little bit finicky, but this is probably the best spot in the Toxic Valley region, just because not too many enemies will spawn in here, and also it should just be quick and easy anyway, so it's not like you're setting up a permanent camp in this disgusting place. However, if you do, it is relatively flat background. And I bet so many other players will do this, so you don't have to get upset and server hop. Simply just fish at their camp as long as they have a specific weather machine set, which is a perfect segue to the one piece of gear that you'll need to complete this fishing requirement. Now, like I said, there's only one thing that you really need in order to catch these axolotls, like not an actual like piece of gear, not a mod, not even a specific bait. You could catch it with improved or superb, but you do need a weather effect, and the best way to get a weather effect on command is through having a weather station at your camp. But specifically, you'll want to use a weather station that produces either the nuke weather effect or the rain weather effect, depending on what you are using. Personally, I'm using the Mothman weather station in the video just because it's easy, and I think that's a 3% chance to catch or something like that with improved bait, I believe it is. No, a 5% chance to catch with improved bait, or 6% chance, excuse me, to catch with improved bait. That's not too bad. I feel like that's pretty decent. I'm always able to get one to spawn in probably within like 10-15 minutes of fishing when I'm using the improved bait, so just do yourself that favor. Now, the only kicker about the weather stations is that they could be obtained from two ways, either from past seasons, like this Mothman weather station. I'm using it because so many of you probably have it from the last season, or the ever-loved Atomic Shop. So there is a slight play wall or a slight paywall, depending on how you're looking at it, but don't worry, because of course you could benefit from other players' weather stations. So if you don't have one, just jump around players' camp in either the Toxic Valley region or the Savage Divide region, and hopefully you'll be able to find one that has a fishable body of water and a weather station. But just try and do this early on in the camp or in the month, because some people may move their camps back or will switch to their main camp. So obviously you should have a traveling camp set up. Now, speaking of camps, what should you actually have down at your camp? Realistically, there's only one thing that you need, but moving on to the camps, really, you're just going to need that weather station. Now, as you could see in the video from my camp, it's extremely simple. All you really need is a weather station. Again, go with a nuke producing effect or go with a rain producing effect. It really does not matter. Either or will be perfectly fine. I think actually in the video I'll probably show footage of both of the nuke and the rain, just to show maybe you could do it on both of them. But obviously you just need the weather station and then simply a generator to power the weather station. Simply just place all this down in the Toxic Valley region or the Savage Divide, and boom, that's all you have to do. You're set up. Obviously, you can place more stuff down at your travel camp, but I placed some storage, some crafting stations. If you really wanted to go bare bones, though, you don't even need to place a platform. You could just place the weather station on the ground, place a generator up to it, and you're ready to go. So that's really all that you need in terms of like gear and setup. All you have to do is you have to be in the specific region. So the Toxic Valley region, I chose right outside of Hemlock Holes. You need a weather station. You could use either a rain producing weather station or a nuke weather station, and then you just need to place it down at your camp. Now, in terms of mods and bait, you don't really need anything special. You don't need the advanced drag mod to catch it. I do suggest obviously you have at least a Mark II reel, just because they are a little slippery. So the more line strength you have, the better. But in this video, I used the Mark IV reel and the advanced drag hook because I had it. But again, I have shown video of, in the first axolotl video that I had, of me catching the axolotl with a Mark II and with, I think, like the fast bobbing line or something like that. So yeah, you don't really need much. And in terms of bait, just use the improved bait. Don't go with superb bait. Don't waste your tickets on superb bait. If you have some sitting around, obviously go ahead and use it. However, you really don't need it. Improved bait is more than enough. Now that you have your location picked and your travel camp set up with a weather station, preferably a nuke or rain producing weather station, you're ready to get fishing for that axolotl. Again, use improved bait. Superb bait isn't needed, but it's not really difficult to fish. I mean, you could get any it's not really that difficult to go after these axolotls. Just make sure you're in the region at a fishable body of water, and make sure you have your travel camp there. And then the only advice that I can say is you will know when you have an axolotl on your line, because the axolotl will, one, move very fast, and it will move around 4 to 5 times before you could actually get that big line pull in that you normally do. So just keep that in mind. If you see it jumping around 4 times, you probably have it on your line, so it's time to lock in. Obviously, it's also very fast, so just do yourself a favor and make sure that your controller or your mouse is right on top of it as soon as it moves, because if you don't have any mods, you really only have a second of give before that axolotl is off of your line. Well, there you have it, ladies and gents of the Wasteland. We've made it to the end of another Fallout 76 video. I hope you found it useful. Again, it's not too difficult to catch one of these guys. I really hope this video helped clear up any confusion. Unfortunately, a lot of information is wrong out there. Really, the only thing that you need to worry about is weather and your bait. Use the improved bait and use whatever weather station you could get your hands on. If you don't have a weather station, go ahead, do yourself a favor, and just server hop around the 2 regions. Again, Toxic Valley, Savage Divide region. Look around there. I personally will have my camp set up on Xbox, so whenever I'm on a server, please feel free to look in this spot, on Xbox at least. And obviously, after this video comes out, go ahead and check to see if people are also in this spot as well, or around this area, just because obviously everyone's going to have the same idea. This is the 4th month of axolotls being in the game, so everyone kind of knows how to catch them. I personally just want to make these videos every single month for new people that are coming along, or just for people that haven't cared about fishing until this specific month or something like that. Or I don't know, maybe your mom was killed by axolotls and this is the only way that you're able to cherish her or something. I don't know. I just want to help you guys out. Just remember, check the description for the NukaKnight's axolotl location article for every axolotl and all of their information. And as always, I appreciate you motherfuckers for watching this motherfucking video. I will see you in the Wasteland. Good luck with all of your future fishing. And just remember, location, weather machine, bait, that's all you got to do. Make sure you're inside one of the 2 regions, plop down that travel and camp with your weather station, and then fish away with some improved bait. Good luck out there. Like I said, you will definitely catch this axolotl probably within 5 minutes if you're using this method.